So I'm going to talk about a few things I have experienced that has helped me awaken my intuition and raise my awareness. And what I'm going to do is start with playing a few of my sound tools, because everything is vibration. And at the end of this live, you will realize that this here is the root of that vibration. But we'll talk about a lot of other things like food, health practices, playing these sounds, or when you're listening to them on YouTube, or when you're using them, I find that when I do my breathing and I do my visualization and I stand up straight and I'm doing all these different practices while I'm listening to these tones, it actually allows me to use my body to more like receive it as a wave and allow it to come through me. So when I am listening or when I'm playing these for you, I would just recommend maybe closing your eyes, taking a couple deep breaths. Give yourself a couple minutes to relax. It takes 3 to 5 minutes for your body's vibration to harmonize with the vibrations that you're listening to, or that's around you. So it's not just vibrations that you hear. We can feel vibrations. We can smell vibrations. When you light incense or sage a space, you're actually changing the vibration of the space. When you breathe it in, you're changing your own vibration. But what you're doing is you're clearing the energy of the space, because everything is energy. So what we're doing now is not only are we clearing our own space inside our bodies with these sounds, but you're also clearing the space wherever you're listening to them. So I recommend looking into one of these tools. Now I'm going to share what it is I'm doing. The first one that I played for you, this is called Tingsha, and they are cymbals, and they play 2 different tones. So it's kind of like binaural beats. Binaural beats works with playing one tone in your ear and another tone in the other ear, and there's that little gap in between your left and right hemispheres, which exactly is where the pineal gland sits, in this little pool of water. And when you're listening to these sounds, the 2 different sounds create a difference in that center, and that is what vibrates that little pool of water, which is where your pineal gland sits. And so when I play this here, I'm hearing 2 different tones, and it really does help harmonize. So I want to talk about frequencies and balance and yin yang real quick before I keep going. And we all have seen the yin and yang symbol that represents balance. But I want to, like, the way I see it is it's not about 50-50 balance. We're just seeing a snapshot of that, right? It looks like it's perfectly even, and balance is about being 50-50. But it's not about being in balance. It's about being in harmony and flowing with what comes through you. whether that's an experience, a thought, or words that you hear, things that you see, everything that comes through you, it's about not being able to balance it out with your own energy, but it's being able to harmonize. Do we allow it to leave? Do we allow it to grow? Do we focus on it more? So learning how to harmonize our energy is what this is about. And so Binaural Beats, I started listening to that about 5 or 6 years ago. YouTube, it is free. There are a lot of different ones. I would definitely look for one that feels good to you. There's a lot of different frequencies, and those numbers all relate to different parts of your body, the different chakras, energy centers, which is what these bowls also represent. So I only have 4 out here, but I do have all 7. And these are the 7 main energy centers down your spine. And I'm going to try not to jump around too much, but there really is a lot to talk about. The pineal gland, the third eye, consciousness, awareness, everything in general, all of this stuff is related. So if you have any questions, let me know, but I will just kind of go on with what my plans were, which is share some of my tools first off. So everything is vibration, right? When we talk about activating or awakening ourselves, we're talking about changing our vibration, which in turn really is about raising our vibration, increasing the rate of vibration, our frequency. And we do this in many different ways. We can do this with the foods we eat. So we have low vibrational foods and high vibrational foods. You have meats, which are heavy. We've got fruits, which are high and solar powered. It's got life force in it. So there are, when you eat something that is a lower vibration, your body, we were talking about earlier, harmonizes to that. So it adjusts, and it therefore is now at a lower, slightly lower vibration. Now, when you continue to eat higher vibrational foods, you are raising your vibration that way. So food is not the only way to do it. I like using sounds because sounds, I feel it directly affecting my my energy bodies. And food is, I guess, a stepping stone to that. There's also exercise. There's also movement. When you move, when you do yoga, when you're doing your breathing practices, or when you're grounding, you are changing your vibration. You're actually matching the vibration of the earth when you're doing your grounding or when you're out doing your nature walks. So these are all different practices. What you're doing is you're changing the rate of your body, your prime vibrational frequency. So your body as a whole has a vibrational rate where it functions as its peak. And every single individual part, your organs, your systems, your eyeball, all of these things have a perfect vibrational rate as well. And these different bowls that we're playing all have specific frequencies. So when you listen to that, when you listen to this one here, this is balancing and aligning and harmonizing that part of your body that is most affected with this sound. So your entire body, think of yourself as a musical instrument. You've got 7 internal strings attached to your spinal cord. And these are referred to as energy centers or chakras, and they are magnetic vortexes inside your body. They're basically spinning like little tornadoes. You got one up here, the crown, which connects you to your higher self. And when we talk about our higher self, that's your source of your best version of you. That's you. That's what your crown connects to. And your root chakra, which is in between your legs, connects you to the ground, connects you to Mother Earth. So these two are one way, right? Your crown. Do I have my doll here? No, I don't. And you have the other chakras. You've got your third eye, you've got your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral. Those are all coming through you. They are vortexes in and out. They spin like little tunnels that it magnetically attracts the vibration that you're experiencing that's related to that. So for example, you're speaking. Well, when I speak, I'm using my throat energy. I'm using my throat chakra. So I am strengthening this. I am clearing it. When I actually clear my throat, you're actually physically, each chakra, each energy center is connected to a bunch of different physical parts of your body. So your heart chakra is connected to your heart and maybe your lungs and maybe some of your upper body muscles. So it's not just the heart. Your throat is not just the throat. Your throat's also about the mouth. It's about the tongue. It's about your breath. So there's a lot of physical connections. Everything is related. So when we are listening to this, let's say this one is the throat chakra, although I'm not sure. I really need to label these. What I want you to do is breathe in and imagine the sound coming through your body like a wave. So that's what you are. You're a wave, and this is a wave, and we're resonating to it when we're listening. Now, when I start playing more than one bowl, because the nature of these sounds are to resonate with each other, you will notice a different tone. Let me try these ones. And what these are doing is this is helping harmonize the two energy centers that these are affecting, which in turn affects your physical body as well. So I know I kind of jumped around a little bit. I wanted to go over this great little tool. This is a crystal pyramid. I can actually hear different vibrations as this is turning. This is amazing. It's a little pricey, but for what it does, I mean, it's your energy. It's your energy that you're balancing. I think it was maybe 300. So the pyramid shape in itself, pyramid is a whole other video that we would totally dive into. But the pyramid, what that does is the angles of the base is what draws that energy. So I actually have pyramids kind of all over here. I've got an orgone pyramid. Orgone, look into that. Look into orgonite. So the way that it works is it draws that energy upwards. And there's about a third up called 0 point energy, where all of the vibrations hit its, I guess, perfect rate. It could be, I'm not sure if that's 111 or if it's 1111, but it has been found that in some tombs they have spaces inside their pyramids where it plays a perfect rate, which means you could probably go in there and maybe ohm and match your vibration to the vibration of the space, and you harmonize with that, which brings you back to 100% health. All of these are about healing and wellness. So when you're listening to these, if you try doing your ohms and stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth, like this, and ohm, you are now matching your vibration to the perfect vibration that is being emitted. So we are harmonizing with that. Now the next thing I want to share is this crystal tuning fork. Now I have a set of tuning forks somewhere, a full set of the chakra tuning forks, and those ones you can actually place on you and ding them and feel the vibration. I place those tuning forks on my umbilical or on my belly button because the belly button connects to your entire spinal system. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So this here is a crystal tuning fork shaped like the Ankh. So the Ankh, which looks like a little person, represents your life force. You can see that there's two legs, which represents your left and your right nerves that ground you to the earth. And this up here, this little section would represent your spinal system, which is your energy centers. And this here is your crown, your head. So when you're breathing, you're drawing energy up, you're circulating it up here, and you're breathing it back out. So I wanted to share real quick though that the Ankh is a very popular Egyptian symbol, but I think it's only one of three. There is also the Djed, or Jed, D-J-E-D, and there's the Was, W-A-S. So the Jed, which I don't have one here, I should have prepared myself, but I got a little excited. So anyway, the Jed looks like your rib cage, and the Was looks like it just looks like a long stick that comes down to two. It looks like your legs. So the combination of the Ankh and the Jed and the Was, I believe, are the three main energies of our being. So the Djed represents our breath. That represents our, I want to say esophagus, but it represents this accordion-like function that we do to breathe. So the Was represents an electricity connection, grounding point to the earth. So when we stick our feet barefoot to the earth and we do our breathing, we practice that breathing, and we visualize this shape, the Ankh, we're actually able to draw this energy up, circulate it, and bring it back down. That's how you clear your energy body. And this is something you do anywhere and anytime. You just need your body and your breath. I recommend barefoot on grass or dirt. If you can't find that, you can also stand on cement. Anywhere where you're feeling the ground. So this is about vibration. So we're changing the vibration when we're listening to these. So when you eat higher vibrational foods, when you read higher vibrational words, when you're saying affirmations, you're repeating higher vibrational statements. What we're doing is we're changing the vibration. So what I'm sharing here are tools that can directly change the vibration, because that's what they are. They're vibrational tools. That literally is their purpose, is to emit that sound. So one other thing I wanted, I got this too, which I don't know how to play the tongue drum, but you're supposed to put all these stickers on there, and I just kind of, you can basically make it sound good no matter what you're doing. So again, anytime you are doing anything that emits a vibration or is, because when you're playing this, you can feel the vibration coming through your body. You are changing your vibration. Now, I want to share a couple more things. So let's talk about crystals real quick, because I opened a crystal store 4 years ago. When I first started learning about the power of these rocks, I became so addicted and opened my own shop. So this here is a Selenite Cube. Now, the reason why I'm sharing selenite is it's one of my favorite crystals. If you have seen the very first Superman, this feels and looks like, it even smells like that crystal. So the one thing I have learned about, because I have a lot of selenite. I've got a selenite sphere. I've got a lot of selenite all over the house. I have selenite over every doorway. And now this is something that you don't put in water. Then there's a whole bunch of other things we can talk about with crystals. But selenite is a high vibrating crystal. And its purpose is to clear crystals, clear energies, clear space, clear your body, clear the field that we do not see. Now, the one thing I noticed with this crystal, I'm going to put it up to my eyeball here. See how it kind of magnifies? You can see my eye. And then when I turn it this way, you can't. So the crystals grow a certain way. Yeah, this is pretty trippy. If you put it over a book, it magnifies it. So you can see. Anyway, crystals are another way to change your vibration. And how does that work? Well, I've got here a plant, which is known to clear the air, right? They emit things into the space that clears the oxygen. That's what this plant does. Well, crystals are minerals. They come from the earth, just like plants, but a little bit harder, right? They have a pure vibration, a pure intention of what they do, just like this plant. This plant has a job, which it does. It cleans my oxygen, the space I'm breathing. The selenite was created from this earth. It is mined from this earth. It's a mineral. And minerals affect our body because we're made of minerals. All the supplements that we take, the boron, the selenium, iodine, all of those are minerals. So when I'm touching this and holding onto this mineral is coming through my body because my body, my skin, is a giant sponge. And when we wear jewelry, when we wear bracelets, so this here is citrine. This crystal is its job, its purpose is to harness the energies of the sun. I actually look through this crystal when I am sun gazing. So there's a lot of different practices you can do with crystals. But I wanted to share that is another way to change your vibration. When we wear rings, we are attracting the vibration of that gemstone, of that mineral. This here is a very special ring. This is Shungite. And if you haven't heard of what Shungite is, that is what they usually put in orgonite products. Shungite is something to look into. It is a EMF shield. It's what's inside almost all of the pyramids we've got around here, because what it does is it provides a block. So we've got Wi-Fi, we've got your phones, you've got, everywhere we are surrounded by frequencies that affect our own vibration. So when we are when we're in any space, we're receiving the vibrations that's in that space. So think of this as a force field that you don't see, but you can actually feel it. You can tell when you have Shungite on, because I am very sensitive to the sound of a television, even if it's off. So you can feel different vibrations. I can feel the microwave, even though it's not turned on. But when you are wearing Shungite or have Shungite in different spaces, you can definitely feel the difference. Another thing I want to share is ruby. Ruby and emerald. So, kings and queens, they would wear gold with ruby and emeralds on their crowns. Kind of started wondering why they did that. Well, ruby, I practice sun gazing, and one of the practices I've learned is to sun gaze with my crystals. What I do is I look at the reflection of the sun on the ruby ring. You can also do this with black onyx, and you can also do this with a lot of other crystals. Pyrite, for example, which is false gold, fool's gold. It's been in a few myths about looking in the golden mirror, and what that does is when you're looking at the sun, you are accepting its energy, but when you reflect it off of something, it's said to reverse the energy. So when you reverse that, it is said that you are able to ingest the properties of that. So when I look at the sun through my ruby ring, so I'm staring at it through that reflection, I am actually promoting vitality. I am promoting and strengthening my root chakra, because that's what ruby affects. So again, all of these things are about vibration. And I know I went over a lot of different things, but there's actually a lot more. But the most important thing is keeping your mind and your body clean and clear. So alcohol, cigarettes, bad thoughts, bad lyrics, these all affect us directly. The foods we eat, sometimes as soon as you eat something, it weighs us down, or you just feel heavier. Well, because your energy body is heavier. And if you want to raise your vibration, you need to eliminate the things that are weighing it down. So I'm going to end it with these crystal bowls. And if you have not looked into Dr. Emoto, he has studied the effects of intentions on water molecules. And when you are thinking of good thoughts about yourself or about experiences, you're actually changing the shape and the structure of your own water. So that's why meditating helps, because when you're meditating, you're most likely not thinking about bad stuff. And it is a practice, so you've got to do it often. And even now, 5 years later, it sometimes takes me a little bit to get to that zone, because every day is a new experience. As soon as you get up in the morning, there's different things that affect us. You've got to learn how to adjust and harmonize so that you remain at this high vibration. And why do we want to have a high vibration? Let's go into that real quick. So all this talk about vibration, I want to just share my idea on why we want to have a high vibration. So it's about manifesting, and it's about creation, and it's about living the life that you dream, because this really is a giant dream, and we are not just living it, we're actually creating it. We are the dream maker, right? So once you start realizing this, you're now able to make changes so that your life experience follows your wishes, your dreams, how you want to experience life. And the way it works for me is that when I have high vibration thoughts, or I feel good about myself, because everything is energy, my thoughts, my wishes, my goals, all these things that I want to happen and manifest are constantly being emitted into the universe, because that's what I'm thinking of. Now, when I have a high vibration, you're able to transfer that thought and use your vibration to make it happen quicker. When you are in a really great, excited mood and you're very creative and you think of something and then all of a sudden it happens, that wasn't really synchronicity or magic or a coincidence. It's because you brought yourself to such a high vibration that your thought was basically riding that wave, and it was able to be heard by the universe and reflected back to you immediately. And this happens really quick. You will think of certain things and see it happen right away, and we call it coincidence or synchronicity, but really it's because you are creating your experience, and you're now realizing that experience. So when we see these 111s, these different patterns, the different signs that you see, those are all signs that you left yourself, your higher version of yourself left this version of yourself to make you realize that there is a higher version of yourself guiding you, and you're playing this game that your higher you is creating. Didn't want to make it sound too complicated, but basically it's about parallel realities, different versions of you experiencing everything all at the same time. And you start doing this by raising your awareness. So meditation is very important because you're able to learn how to silence the outer world. And I'm not talking about meditating in a silent, quiet room. That's easy. I'm talking about meditating when someone's honking at you, or meditating when you're dealing with an angry customer. Meditation is a way of life where you're able to be at peace no matter where you are. But of course we practice when it's silent, because that's a good stepping stone. It's a starting point. So I know I went over a lot of things, and there's probably a few more things I'd like to go over, and I will read through all these comments, but let me end it with this sound bowls. If you have a chance, watch Dr. Pollack. He did a TED talk about water. And when we drink water, we drink H2O. But when we ingest the water, it is now H3O2. This is structured water. So I talked about Dr. Emoto structuring water with thoughts. Well, Dr. Pollack was able to see that structure with the different vibrations. So 3 to 5 minutes is how long it takes for your internal water to start vibrating to the external vibrations you're hearing. So I guess when you listen to the sound bowls or you listen to YouTube, it's nice to listen to it for a long time because it's meditative and it's peaceful, but you really need about five minutes to get you to a state of calm. So if you can spend 5 minutes of doing that every so often throughout the day, you are going to experience such a different version of your life, because you're now not on this defensive mode. You're now on this harmonizing and able to adjust. So thank you for watching, and I will read through the comments, and thank you for being here in our group. There's quite a few people here. I am very grateful for you to be here. I continue to learn, and I wanted to just share some information with you. So have a great rest of your day, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments.